What's up, everyone? John Ranger from Techno Buffalo here. I get asked a ton what my favorite Apple apps are for the iPod Touch, for the iPhone, and for the iPad, so I thought it would be fun to show you what applications I actually have loaded up on my iPad. Let's get started. Alright, so the apps that I use on my iPad, I sort of have them in order from what I use the most. YouTube, certainly the built-in app. I do actually a lot of YouTube video watching. Before I go to bed, usually I'll catch up on what my subscriptions have been doing, what people I like to watch. I'll catch up on their videos. Calculator, certainly the iPad needed one, so I do a lot of calculations. So iPad, Photos is pretty stock, Notes, App Store. Bloomberg for keeping track of my stock portfolio. Netflix, of course, for watching some movies and TV shows on the go. It's actually a great app if you haven't checked it out. Really worth it. You can get even the smallest Netflix subscription, which I believe is about 12 or 13 bucks. You can access a ton of movies ready to go on demand. It's kind of neat. Pages for doing word processing. For those of you guys that know, I am in graduate school, so I sometimes take my iPad with me to take notes, and having Pages makes it a lot easier when I get Word documents back. I can open them up in Pages and do some editing. A lot more text editing capabilities than I can in just Notes application. And sort of with that theme of school, Numbers and Keynote, sort of Apple's iWork answer to Excel and PowerPoint. So you can open Excel and PowerPoint documents, edit them. I did an overview video showing how these things worked, but they are very helpful. My favorite application that I used all the time while I was on my vacation is iBooks. Great for reading books. Certainly it comes free with the iPad. You got to give it a download. Keeping true with the book theme, and now have a Kindle app on there as well. You can access all of your Kindle content. It syncs up with Amazon's WhisperSync network, so you can pull in all of your page marks and your books. Kind of cool. Analytics HD. This is sort of like Google Analytics. Lets me keep track of Techno Buffalo stats, so I can see what the site's doing on a day or a weekly basis. See what people are looking for. It just helps me better track the site. It helps me better help dictate the content. Weather Channel app. It's awesome. Lets me tell me what the weather is. Certainly got to know that before you go outside. They just redid the whole application. It's free and pretty sweet. You just go ahead and hit local, and it'll pull in your local weather. See, last time I checked it, I was in Venice. I'm going to go ahead and sort of pull in where you are right now. So in Irvine. Kind of cool. All right, moving right along. Sports Center. You guys know I'm a sports nut. This is an application that costs a few bucks, but you can set it to pull in your favorite sports, your teams, whatever you'd like. You can view all the ESPN video right from here. However, you can also just go to ESPN.com now, and their video is being converted for HTML5. You can watch the video there. So this sort of gives more of a customized portal, but it's no longer necessary after ESPN redid their website. So ESPN.com, visit from the iPad. You can choose either mobile or full, and the full version actually will convert all the videos for you, which is kind of neat. So I use this less and less now. Go ahead and exit out of there. New York Times, Editor's Choice. I'm a big reader of newspapers, so usually in the morning I'll read the New York Times. And coming up next to it, the Wall Street Journal. Comes down to about $4 a month for a subscription to the Wall Street Journal. Really handy, even if you read 1 or 2 articles a day. Sort of broadens your horizons, makes you think a bit more globally. I've always enjoyed reading the Wall Street Journal. Alright, moving down to the bottom, sort of the standard Safari, Mail. My Twitter client of choice is Twitterific. I don't know if you guys have seen that. This is not the pro version, this is the free version. There's a pro version once you add multiple accounts, you get sort of advertisements. But this one works very well for me, sort of pretty standard. I like the large text on the iPad, so that's Twitterific. Settings and calendar, I do all my calendaring and stuff too on the iPad. I have it synced up with Google Sync and a Google Exchange server, essentially a Google Exchange server. So if I added a calendar on the iPad, it'll update it online. If I update it on my iPhone, or right now I'm using the BlackBerry Torch, it'll sort of always sync. So I always have my updated calendar. Moving right along, contacts boring, iTunes boring, iPod, you know what that is. Field Runners is a pretty kick-ass tower defense game. A lot of fun. It was great on the iPhone, and it's pretty much exactly the same on the iPad, but bigger. A lot of fun if you haven't checked it out. Words with Friends, it's Words HD, it's called right here. Essentially Scrabble, you can play online with a bunch of buddies. I suck at Scrabble, but it's fun to try. Videos you guys all know, Speed Test X HD lets me test network speed, so I like to test AT&T and Wi-Fi depending on where I am. Helps me get a better sense of how the network speeds are running, gives me a better sense of perspective when I'm talking about speeds in phone videos. Justin.tv, that JTV app, that's actually an iPhone app that will let you watch sort of some live TV shows. Maps, of course, you know, Jumbo is actually another calculator. Big Day Light is actually a countdown timer. I was using that to count down days from my wedding. If you go ahead and open this up, it'll show you how many days it's been since my wedding. So there's Rebecca, there's me. It's been married for 22 days, which is pretty cool. Next we'll go over to CutHut. That is a CutHut application. It lets you trim all your URLs right from your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. You just put in what you want, hit shorten, copy it, and you're done. Really sort of handy for cutting your URLs. Angry Birds. If you guys loved Angry Birds on the iPhone or iPod Touch, it is just bigger and better on the iPad. Angry Birds is my new addiction, and these birds are very, very, very angry, and the levels are very hard, which makes me angry. But the game is just a lot of fun. Certainly worth checking out, and definitely worth the price. I believe about $5-ish. Next, Need for Speed Shift. It's a driving game. Take advantage of some 3D acceleration, and you turn it like you would a normal driving game, like this. All right, let's go ahead and keep on moving. Star Wars Battles for Hoth. It is a, you can see there's a theme here. It's another tower defense game that takes place in the Star Wars universe, and I'm really showing my geekness here by all of my games. ABC Player lets you watch some of the ABC content for those of you outside of the US. ABC is a TV network. You can watch some of their shows. They had Lost, for example, and a few other great shows. Cloud Browse I haven't really used since I first demonstrated it, but essentially what it does is it virtualizes or pulls in another computer's web browser, and that computer is capable of watching Flash content. So technically you can get Flash content on the iPad. You can check out the video I did on Cloud Browse. It doesn't work very well, it's kind of slow, but technically it's possible. Nook, another way to get this is Barnes & Noble's content right onto the iPad, another way to read books. Goodreader, I think, is a must have on the iPad, or I believe it's on the iPhone as well. Helps you open up a ton of different content that you might have trouble with. Sometimes PDFs get a little weird. Word documents and Excel, things like that sometimes don't always open very well. Goodreader just makes that a lot easier. It's about 99 cents, totally worth it. IM Plus, this is the light version, so it's free. It lets me just use instant messaging clients, AIM, Google Talk, I think Yahoo, and a few other ones in there as well. Keep it moving. Hulu Plus, I did get a trial of Hulu Plus, so I've got that to check out. You guys hopefully saw my video of Flipboard, which is awesome. It sort of aggregates all of your content from your social networking feeds and your RSS and puts them into a really cool looking magazine type thing. It's something that I did a full video on. It's just really kind of neat. You go ahead and sort of see what people are doing. So in your Facebook, Twitter, I've got inside Flipboard, so we've got some technology. I can sort of see what people are looking at in Twitter. If people have posted a link to something in Twitter, it shows up. That whole link will show up as a magazine page. You go ahead and open it up here. You can see that someone shared a AT&T article. You can go through and sort of see all the cool stuff that my friends and followers have shared on Twitter. We'll go ahead and back out of that. Facebook, that is actually the iPhone Facebook application, so you got to zoom in. I don't use it very often other than just for uploading pictures. Usually if I want to use Facebook on the iPad, I'll just use the Facebook website, which is pretty good on the iPad. World Clock, this is when I was traveling. I started to get really confused with what time it was, so it tells me what time it is in all different time zones in the world. This one I hope you guys know, PvZHD, Plants vs. Zombies, which is my first gaming love. I fell in love with Plants vs. Zombies and played that probably more than I should have for a long period of time. Awesome game. If you haven't checked it out, Plants vs. Zombies, totally worth the download. They have it, I believe, on the iPads at the Apple stores and probably at Best Buys as well. So if you have one near you and you want to check it out, check out Plants vs. Zombies. Totally awesome. Skype, that is the iPhone Skype app because I want to use Skype on the iPad, which actually I did while I was traveling. It has a built-in microphone, so it's not so bad. Uverse, my cable and internet provider is Uverse, so it lets me control my TV, see what shows I've recorded, lets me add shows sort of on the go. Kind of neat. USA Today, you can see by where it's located on there at the end of the apps. I don't really read the USA Today that much. If I have some free time, I'll check it out, but I haven't really looked at it all that much. And White Noise. I live in a construction zone. I live in a new housing development, so they're building new houses all around me. And the construction starts very, very early. And sometimes it wakes me up. So white noise sort of just creates what you'd expect. White noise, it helps me sleep in peace, and then I have to hear bang, 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 and beep, beep, beep. If the truck's backing up. You guys can think that is whatever you want. But the construction noise got to be really loud and quite annoying. So what apps did I miss? Am I missing something that I should definitely have on my iPad? Is there an iPhone app that I need to have on my iPad? I want to hear from you. What are your favorite apps? Make a video response or leave your questions down below. Really want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. Be sure to check out the website for all your tech news. And for exclusive content, check me out at Twitter, twitter.com/John4Lakers. All the links will be down below in this area. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.